Hello and welcome. We're baking a classic Turkish Pide today. It's a flatbread that's traditionally cooked in clay ovens. It comes plain or it can be made with toppings on it, a lot like the Italian pizza. We're making the plain version. To get started, in a bowl we're going to be adding half a cup of warm water, half a cup of warm milk, 1 teaspoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of dry yeast. If, like me though, you're using instant yeast, it's just 3/4 of a teaspoon. Give everything a good mix, and then we're going to pop the bowl to one side for 10 minutes just to get the yeast activated. And in the meantime, in a large bowl, I'm going to sift together the flour. So it's 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of whole wheat flour, and half a teaspoon of salt. So after the yeast mixture has been activating for about 10 minutes, we're going to add that into the dry ingredients. And into the bowl we're also going to be adding in olive oil. So it's 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 1 egg white. And as we're mixing all of the ingredients together, you can see that it slowly begins to form a dough. And using your hands at the final stages, pull the dough together. And sometimes there's not enough liquid in the dough, so if it's a little dry, add a few drops of water. And if on the other hand it's a little too sticky to work with, then just add a spoon or so of flour. And this recipe doesn't require any real kneading, so once we've pulled the dough together, just cover and leave it to rest in the bowl for around 40 minutes. After around 40 minutes, the dough should have doubled in size. So lift the dough out of the bowl and onto a floured baking tray. And use your hands to form a round bread shape. And pop the dough on the tray and cover it with a kitchen towel again for the second rising. And this time we're going to allow the dough to rise for about 20 minutes. And now's a good time to make our egg wash. So we'd previously separated the yolk from the egg white, and now we're going to be using that yolk along with a teaspoon of water and a tablespoon of yogurt. Mix well until you have a smooth glaze. At this point also preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 200 degrees Celsius. And next brush the dough with the egg wash. And then to create that classic pide pattern, we're using a knife to press a circle about 1 inch along the inside of the dough. And then you're going to use your index finger to create a crisscross pattern inside of that circle. And lastly, sprinkle with nigella seeds and sesame seeds before baking. Pop your bread in the oven and allow it to bake for about 20 minutes. It's done when it's a rich golden brown colour. To keep the bread soft, keep it covered with a kitchen towel and it will stay fresh for a couple of days at room temperature. This bread works beautifully with soups and stews, or as part of a breakfast. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video recipe, and as always, thank you for watching.